Hello, my clan. What are you doing today? This is a real sword. But twice as heavy as a real one. This is its sheath. Oh, I am also... When I'm on my YouTube channel, I'll be wearing the white mask. When I'm on somebody else's YouTube channel, I'll be wearing the black mask. Anyway, this is the Jian. It's a one- or two-handed sword. It is very sharp, but twice as heavy.
Whoa, whoa!
Very sharp as well. And it is not mine. I'll give you a few guesses on whose it is. Have you guessed yet? If you guessed correctly, you are correct. It is Abyss's. The guy who I do pretty much all of the sword fighting videos with. But a European sword I feel safer with because of its much bigger crossguard. And my arm is getting tired because of how it's anyway, if you're using it as one-handed, you're doing a lot of this. A lot of people compare these to rapiers. No, they have two entirely different fighting styles. Rapier, you're always... this hurts. The center of balance is literally right at your hand. While this is like a normal sword. You pivot it around that pivot point. And with a rapier, you're doing stuff like this. Having your arm out here, which uses these muscles to help you put this. But with this, you're not doing this for 5 to 10 minutes on end. It's the two entirely different fighting styles. Now, when I made that one video with me with a bunch of sneezing, I compared the Wartanian Jian, which is a lot smaller, and that, yeah, its fighting style is much more similar to a rapier than this one is. You do this with it a lot, and stuff like that, but you're also doing stuff like this, and it's primarily a one-handed sword. Anyway, this Jian, you can also use it as two-handed. Oh! Anyway, you can also use it as two-handed. It's a little heavy, but it does its job. Also very sharp. I've mentioned that, haven't I? It is a little harder to do regular Jian stuff with it, but that's because its crossguard right here isn't made like a normal Jian. Usually these would be round so you can have something right here to hold it with, so you can do all this with it. This one doesn't have that. But you can do the... It's a little bit more scary because this is a sharp one. If I mess up, I could get a little hurt, but I've done it with real swords before. And I've been doing it for so many years that it's second nature. Anyway, I hate doing that left-handed. My experiences with Jians are pretty good. The only gripe I have about them is the really small crossguard. I'm used to a big crossguard. Those foam swords that Ethan made don't have crossguards. There is one that does, but it is terrible. It is a terrible sword. And if you see me in those videos being kind of stiff, that's pretty. My sword stuff is... B? Why'd you do that for? My sword style is very stiff. That's because the swords that he made have like no weight into here. It's all in the blade. So like I'm doing stuff like this because of how heavy it is, when these things are quite nimble even with its added weight. Also, I am used to blocking like this and then going around, but the extra sword classes, why you staring at me, doggy? In my extra classes that I've been taking online, been teaching me to do it like this, up and down, so you can just strike forward. It leaves this part exposed, but if you've caught their sword, you can just go straight forward. Anyway. Anyway, fun. Swords are cool. Cool. They are very cool. Anyway. This is my favorite part of any match. Because you no longer have to fight. One problem with this sword though. Super loose. Like, I can do that and it just falls out. And it's bent. It's also bent. Very bent. But, nice sword anyway. That is a wrap, a snap, a dap, and a lap,